of the florets and trash is coming down to the bottom, but we're getting the good stuff right down the middle. And then the heavier stuff like rocks and sticks go all the way up and are out of the idea.
But they're still not completely clean. The good seeds at the bottom have to pass their final audition in front of an infrared camera.
This machine is pretty cool. It's going to sort out the perfectly black seeds that are ready for customers from anything else that's left in the bin. Let's open this thing up.
It's got to take a picture of every seed that comes through there. And if
Wow.
it's anything that's discolored, it's going to shoot it out.
In the front and the back, we've got some digital cameras here. And what they're doing is as the seeds fly down, they're picking up colors. Machine set to the perfect black for fresh onion seeds. And every time one comes down that isn't the right color, there's little burst of air right down here that's going to shoot it off, and it's going to be out of there. So at the bottom of this contraption is going to be a bin full of perfectly black seeds that are all ready to go. Am I right?
That's right.
Raining black onion seeds here. This is perfect, huh, Stacy?
This is what we're going after.
Remember that each one of these seeds makes a single onion. So every single one of these is one whole onion.
After harvest, one lucky yellow onion will end up on our cheeseburger, which is now complete. But there's still some spuds to pick and some fries to make. So why does that put me in a room that's 20 degrees below zero? What's the #1 food item ordered in America? French fries. They account for nearly 14% of all menu items and are available in 57% of America's restaurants. And of course, no cheeseburger would be complete without some. The most popular spud for making fries is the russet. It's big and it holds up in hot oil, and its thick skin allows French fry companies to store them for up to a year in controlled conditions. But first, they have to be pulled from the earth.
I'm here in Washington State, and as far as the eye can see, nothing but potatoes. Of course, there's no way I can go around digging these up out of the ground by hand.
Fortunately, there's a quicker way.
So this thing is digging under the soil and lifting the whole plant out.
Yes. Then we have chains that are in timing sequence to get rid of the soil and collect the potatoes and bring them up to the return elevator and load them onto our truck.
This potato right here was just in the ground 20 seconds ago.
Absolutely.
It's ready to go be cleaned, and then we're going to head to the plant and make some fries, right?
Absolutely.
In California and Florida, potatoes are grown and harvested year-round. But in colder climates, the key is to get potatoes out of the ground before the winter frost. Prior to arriving at the plant, the spuds go to a staging area where rocks, vines, and other debris are removed from the harvest.
That clanging you're hearing in there is the rocks that are coming up. It's exactly the kind of thing we're looking for. You don't want a big rock. After this, they're taken up on this conveyor belt and automatically loaded into that big semi-trailer back there. We're one step closer to having our French fries.
Potatoes are 80% water and they float. So once they're inside the Lamb Weston plant, they're dumped into a water flume where they drift through an initial cleaning area. From there, they sail along until they fall into a heap.
Look at this, a mountain of potatoes. And this is just one of several here at the plant. They're already washed, but they're coming down in water, being floated through the factory to get to the next step. That way they won't bruise. Now they're clean, but they've still got their clothes on. So let's go peel them.
Peeling just one potato is hard enough. Peeling over 5 million a day requires some ingenuity.
These potatoes aren't peeled the regular way with a veggie peeler or a knife. They're hit with a big blast of steam, which makes the water right underneath the skin boil and bubble up, so it's able to just be kind of rubbed and washed off. And that's what you see coming through this line right here.
Here, workers eyeball the naked spuds for any stray vines, residue, or dark spots before they're sent to the cutter. Unfortunately, the proprietary potato police won't let us see what happens inside, but I'm sure I can get some info out of them.
So Jim, when the potato comes up to this point, it's whole, right?
That's right.
And when it leaves here, it's cut into a French fry, right?
Yes.
So what's going on right in here?
Inside here is a grid of knives, kind of crisscross blades. Potatoes come shooting down here, propelled by high pressure water. They hit that grid of knives and come out French fries.
Well, can you show me what's over there?
Afraid not.
Can you show me what's over here?
I'm afraid not.
So So you'll just have to understand that the magic is all happening right in here.
For this batch, the top secret machine cuts the potatoes into the classic French julienne style. In total, Lamb Weston offers 20 different shaped cuts to their customers. Now, the French and the Belgians both lay claim to inventing the French fry, but no one really knows for sure. Call me crazy, I'm going with the French.
You can see it's got a perfect 1/4-inch cut. It'll shrink a little when it cooks, huh?
Right.
All right, the water then takes it down through this little aqueduct, and it's taking it onto the shaker. What's that doing?
Shaker table's taking out the short little pieces that don't quite make French fry length.
So if it doesn't look perfect like this one, it'll shake out. Maybe it'll become a hash brown or something.
Exactly.
And then it's headed up into that huge machine. What is that?
That's our blancher.
Inside the blancher, boiling water quickly heats the potatoes, which are then shocked with cold water to stop the cooking process.
You know, blanching the potatoes does a couple of things. Number one, it deactivates the enzymes that are inside the potato so that it gets all nice and fluffy. It also gets a lot of the starch out, and that helps get you a golden brown outside when it's frying.
That happens in the frying area, and it's downright scorching.
I am dying of heat. How hot is this thing going?
The oil's running over 350 degrees.
So I bet they're sizzling. I'm gonna take a look down in there if you don't mind. They're just dropping in. Now, what kind of oils have we got in there?
We're using a blend of 0-gram trans fat oil.
So that's great. It's healthier than it's probably been in the past, huh?
Right.
Well, that's what's called par cooking, right? Partially cooking it,
frying, yeah.
and then getting it ready to be frozen so it can be recooked later on.
Exactly.
Perfect, man. Boy, let's get out of here.
1 minute after they enter the fryer, the potatoes emerge at the other end as French fries. And each day, 36 million of them will make the journey.
Look at these golden brown fries. They've been in the oil for a little over a minute at 350 degrees. They're headed up this, and they're headed into the blast chiller so they can get nice and cold for freezing, so that when you get them at home or we get them at a restaurant, it only takes a little while to get them ready for you. Oh, it's hot, but pretty darn good.
And finally, a very cold blast freezer flash freezes the fries for 15 minutes. America's most popular food item is now just a hot oil bath away from becoming the quintessential side dish for our cheeseburger.
After the cutting, and the blanching, and the par frying, and now the final fry, it's ready to eat. It's delicious. It's got a crispy outside, a fluffy inside that came from blanching where we deactivated the enzymes, and it is the perfect fry. You know what'd be nice though? Some ketchup.
That requires some tomatoes and a company that knows how to get 20 of them into a 24-ounce bottle. Underneath this bed of safe but mildly toxic leaves is the world's most popular fruit, the tomato. Actually, it's in the berry family. But regardless of how it's classified, a nice thick slice is great on a cheeseburger. It also makes great ketchup. There's just one challenge: how to get about 20 tomatoes inside a 24-ounce ketchup bottle. The process starts at harvest time from July to October.
This tomato harvester is quite a piece of machinery, huh?
Yes, it is.
I see it going up and down individual rows here of the tomato vine. Tell me exactly what this thing's doing.
It's got a sickle on the bottom which cuts the tomato vine right below, about an inch below the soil surface. So you got all the vines and all the tomatoes going up this chain. On the top it goes into a shaker. The shaker shakes the vines, tomatoes loose from the vine. The vines go out the back of the machine. Tomatoes come through here.
By the time the tomatoes ride the conveyor to the huge tubs for transport to the plant, most of the rocks, vines, dirt clods, and green tomatoes need to be gone from the mix.
We got this cool machine here that's gonna help us sort that out. Can you tell me how it works?
Yes, tomato machines are equipped with two different kinds of optics. They have dirt sorters, which we're looking at here. Further back, they have color sorters. This set of rejectors, or the optics here, can tell the difference between red tomatoes, green tomatoes, and dirt clods.
So I'm gonna grab a red tomato and a green tomato, and I'm gonna roll them off the end. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so the red one got shot right back into the conveyor for further processing, and the green one hit the ground. That's pretty cool. Why is it so important that we get rid of all that stuff that's not tomatoes?
Because the cannery only wants tomatoes. Plus the grower gets deducted. If we send dirt up there, 1% dirt, the cannery takes 3% of our paid load away from it.
So you lose money if you're not just sending the best tomatoes through.
That's correct.
So are we worried at all about the ones on the bottom here getting kind of crushed?
Not really. The cannery tomatoes